Hey YouTube, it's Patriarch Rottweiler again. My next little project on my Excursion. I'm taking out the original starter. I don't have a problem with it. It works fine, but I want to go ahead and upgrade it while the cool weather finally got here. So what I did is, for most of you who probably already know, a 6.4 power stroke starter will be a direct bolt on. But if you want to go to an even better starter, you get the 6.7. I bought this one off of Amazon, as well as the other parts that you're going to need. And I still have the original one in the truck, so I got to take it out. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a little bit about what you're going to need as far as tools and these other parts. So there's the starter. It's for 6.7. As you can see, it has a bolt down at the bottom and a bushing. So you have to get those separate. And you can get those on Amazon, and I'll show you the sizes that you're going to need. So the bolt I bought is a flanged M8 1.25, 40 millimeters long. And then the bushing is 8 millimeter inside diameter, 12 millimeter outside diameter by 15 millimeter long. And you can see those there. It's pretty easy should be pretty easy to replace the starter. First thing you want to do is disconnect your batteries, so that way you don't cause any shorts when you're down there trying to work on this. But your top bolt right there should be either a 15 or a 16 millimeter. There's other videos that show you what all tools and all to use, but it should be pretty basic. So you start with that top bolt, 15 or 16 millimeter. Then you go to this little bolt, which is a 10 millimeter, and then all the bolts that actually hold the 3 bolts that hold the starter to the motor are 13 millimeter. So it's very few tools. I mean, I have a bunch of ratchets set up, but I want to have everything that I need when I'm ready to start removing the old one and putting in the new one. But I'm gonna go ahead and crank up the truck and show you what it sounds like with the original starter.
The appointment online, we got there, and 10 minutes after, doctors.
Okay, so I haven't started the vehicle in a while, and the first noise you heard was the MyRide, the Rancho 9000 MyRide system. It has a little compressor, so it has to air up. So that was the very first noise you heard. But it you know, these 6 liters, it takes a little bit of power for them to turn over. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and replace the starter, and then once I do, I'll come back and do another quick little video of what it sounds like with the new starter. Okay, we're back. We got the old factory 6.0 starter removed. As you can see, it's right there. It is quite difficult to get all this done. You're cramped up. There's no room for your hands. You can't see anything. And it was a little bit of a chore, but I got it done. It works great. I'll crank it up here in a second so you can see how much faster it spins that motor, and it cranks up a lot better. One of the tips I wish somebody would have said is, as you know, the top bolt which the bolt that's stuck in the starter now right there, that's the bottom bolt. And then you have a middle bolt, and then you have that top bolt back there. It is, you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't get near it. It is quite difficult. So as you're trying to get the bolt back in, you always run the risk of the bolt coming out of the socket and falling behind the starter, and then you have to remove the starter and get that bolt back out. Or of course, if you lose your socket, you might have that same problem. So I came up with a little solution to this, and I wish somebody would have told me about it. So this is another one of the M8 bolts, just using as a demonstration here. But I used the factory bolt when I reinstalled it. But what it is, I took this fine little piece of wire, as you can see right here. I wrapped it around that bolt head, and it has a flange on it, even the one that's in it now. So I just wrapped it around it a couple times, and then I ran it down the length of the extension and through the little hole. And that way I can keep tension on everything. And I can turn this upside down and it won't fall out, and nor will the socket come off like that. So what you do when you're trying to reinstall this, you can stick this extension with the bolt in there and try to find your way around, and then find where it goes, and then just get the thread started, right? So just turn this a little bit. Now, of course, you don't need all this extra piece of wire hanging off, and in fact, that kind of messes you up. But once you get it started, you can get the wire back out of the hole at the end of the extension, and then pull with a pair of pliers, or maybe you can pull it with your hands. But you just pull that wire off of the bolt, and then the bolt will, of course, if it's already threaded, then it'll stay in there. So that's a good little way that I used to get that top bolt in there. I know some guys, they don't reinstall that top bolt, but you know, if you're going to do all this, you might as well do it right. And that is just one way to get the top bolt back in. So once again, this bushing that I have right here and that bolt with those numbers, I'll put all this information in the description. That works perfectly for that bottom bolt. Like I said, it's much smaller than the one that's original, but with that bushing that you can get off Amazon or eBay, and that bolt, it works absolutely perfect. So let me crank up the truck for you. You can hear it for yourself as compared to what it was this morning. So as you can tell, it spun that thing like a top. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It is a little bit of a pain to install that, but it works out really good once you get it installed. I put my batteries back on, got everything all nice and buttoned up. The batteries take a little 8mm on a 1/4 inch ratchet. We'll loosen those up and tighten them back down. But as far as that goes, that is the end of that project, and hopefully I never have to do it again. If you have any questions or any comments, post them down in the section below. If you can, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you are interested in stuff I do. Thanks for watching.